Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back to do another show, but I'm going to need a little bit of help from you. I'm going to need you to hit these like buttons like we always talk about. I want to say this. I appreciate you guys no longer riding on a short bus. We have very few people riding on a short bus with Diddy, and I am thankful. But I also want to address something else. I was reading the comments the other day, and the comment said to me, yeah, I don't like the fact that these YouTubers always want somebody to hit the like button. I feel like you need to earn my like. Boy, you crazy. Let me tell you something. You don't know what you like in life. You one of them people that go to the restaurant and you sit there and you done been to McDonald's every day. You ain't supposed to be eating it, but you go to McDonald's every day and you look at the menu. You just stand there and look at the menu. I think today I don't know what I want. You that person that stand right there in the line and hold up the line for everybody else. That's your mentality. For the rest of y'all, I appreciate you. I love you. Hit that like button. Let's smash it. Let's get it going. Hold on one second. We about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we doing over here, baby. Let's go. Hey, man, I'm back. And let's just keep it 100. We got a lot to talk about, and we got a lot of time to talk about it, but we're going to start with the most breaking of the news as there is. Ebola urgent care lockdown. 2 patients from Uganda and Madagascar showed symptoms at Manhattan Clinic. FDNY transported them in hazmat suits. Clinic on lockdown. Testing underway. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, it's very, very interesting to me that somebody requested that I make it spooky again. Let me make it spooky for my people, because we getting ready to get into some spooky stuff. He said, DW, why you don't make it spooky? Hold on. We can make it spooky again. We can go blue light spooky. I'm cool with that. But here's what we got to understand. Now, we know, all of us, you, me, the Dark Waters family, the Stinkonians, the ones who know and understand what be going on. We know what to look for at this point in time. So let's just look at this. If this is the clinic, let's just look and see if people scared. Because if I'm thinking what this emergency is, this, you know, it's like the episode from Psych where they had the Marburg virus. Remember that episode on Psych? What was the Marburg virus? And they acted like there was something to be afraid of. Let me see if people acting like it's something to be scared of.
We're not allowed in, or nobody's allowed in or out. That's the saddest news. I'm aware. I know. Nobody's allowed in or out. Sorry.
All right, that right there. Let me know ain't nobody got no Ebola. I don't need the fact checkers. At the bottom it says 2 patients do not have Ebola. Neither patient had exposure to Ebola or other factors that would indicate risk. This lady right here smiling. Let me know that this whole Ebola thing that they talking about don't make no sense. Look at that. See that smile? Yeah. If I'm in a place where they got that Ebola, ain't nothing to smile about. You know what I'm saying? I'm off to the races. I'm trying to hide. I'm getting away. So the question is, what is this? What's going on? The question is, what's really going on, ladies and gentlemen? What's happening in New York?
Doctor's phone number. All right.
don't know. I mean, to me, it would seem like it would be a much bigger deal than what we're looking at. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like it would be a much bigger deal than what we're looking at. Way bigger deal. Now, Donald J. Trump today went to the Speedway, and because he's a rock star, and nobody seems to understand this, that he's a real full-on rock star. I don't know how you can hate the man. Man saving you money right now as we speak. People been lying to you for years and years and years and years and taking advantage of you. And he out here in these streets getting it together. Let's see how the people react to him. That's wild. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to find the polls show that the president is so popular that CNN and MSNBC losing their mind because they found themselves in a situation where how do you attack a president that everyone is in love with, where every racial demographic is in love with the president? Now, of course, there's a few stragglers here. You know, there's data coming out about who's upset and who's unhappy, but it's not the majority of people. We had a 70-30, 80-20 mark. You're going to have 20% of the people that's unhappy with anything. But when you get to the mark where it's 80-20, 70-30, people, quite frankly, don't care about how the 20%, 30% feel. They're just like, hey, get it how you live. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Get it how you live. Yeah, that's the president. Loved and beloved all over the place. Everybody appreciate him. And I thought little Marco Rubio wouldn't be doing a good job, ladies and gentlemen. But little Marco Rubio, hey, I got to give it to little Marco. Little Marco is on his game. I felt like little Marco would be a weak spot for us. But little Marco turned out not to be such a weak spot at all. Yeah, go. Well, let's see what little Marco talking about.
Well, he was standing in a country.
I'm not even going to call him little Marco. I'm going to call him Marco.
Where free speech was weaponized to conduct a genocide. And he met with the head of a political party that has far-right views and some historic ties to extreme groups. The context of that was changing the tone of it. And you know that the censorship was specifically about the right.
No, I have to disagree with you. Free speech was not used to conduct a genocide. The genocide was conducted by an authoritarian Nazi regime that happened to also be genocidal because they hated Jews and they hated minorities and they hated those that they had a list of people they hated, but primarily the Jews. There was no free speech in Nazi Germany. There was none. There was also no opposition in Nazi Germany. They were a sole and only party that governed that country. So that's not an accurate reflection of history. I also think it's wrong. Again, I go back to the point of his speech. Okay, the point of his speech was basically that there is an erosion in free speech and intolerance for opposing points of view within Europe, and that's of concern because that is eroding. That's not an erosion of your military capabilities. That's not an erosion of your economic standing. That's an erosion of the actual values that bind us together in this transatlantic union that everybody talks about. And I think allies and friends and partners that have worked together now for 80 years should be able to speak frankly to one another in open forums without being offended, insulted, or upset. And I spoke to foreign ministers from multiple countries throughout Europe. Many of them probably didn't like the speech or didn't agree with it, but they were continuing to engage with us on all sorts of issues that unite us. So again, at the end of the day, I think that people give that is a forum in which you're supposed to be inviting people to give speeches, not basically a chorus where everyone is saying the exact same thing. That's not always going to be the case when it's a collection of democracies where leaders have the right and the privilege to speak their minds in forums such as these.
And see, this is what's wrong with this damn media. just to make somebody be wrong. They have to bend and twist the truth to try and make a person be wrong. So, for example, we on this channel listen to your Noah Harari say that this era of free speech, that I can do what I want, it's over. It's over. Right? Remember he said that, right? And so you have J.D. Vance going, this is in context to the conversation about J.D. Vance going over to Germany and chin checking the people in Germany and saying, no, y'all need to start instituting free speech again. Well, this woman is in support of the thought process of Yuval Harari, that there is no such thing as free speech. There is no free will, because we're going to censor you and you're going to do what we say you're going to do. And it's amazing that they get in line with some of the most wicked concepts and ideas in the history of the world in order to try and prove Donald Trump wrong, in order to try and not even prove, to try and make J.D. Vance wrong, or make Donald Trump wrong, or make Marco Rubio wrong. It's pitiful. It's absolutely pitiful. She's trying to equate free speech in Nazi Germany to the reason why the Nazis did what they did. The truth of the matter is, this government been funding a whole bunch of damn Nazis in the Ukraine. Putin came out and said it, they Nazis. So she wants to defend Nazis while attacking him, trying to claim he's a Nazi. Because these are the same people that was like, oh, the war in Ukraine, we need to support Ukraine, we need to support Zelensky. That's the biggest scam against the left that there ever was. They tricked you into supporting Nazis. It's been proven. That's what they did. It's disgusting, man. It truly is. It's so disgusting that, I mean, there needs to be persecutions of people in the media. Like, they need to be arrested. Just lying to the American people the way that they lie to the American people is ridiculous. And I'm hoping that we get to the point to where we start arresting. It don't take many of them. You know, you can arrest 2 or 3 of them and we'll be fine. But they need to be arrested for what they're doing, because they can't continue to lie to the American people like they do. For example, the Free Palestine movement. Watch this.
Jerry, can I get a selfie?
Sure.
Free Palestine!
I don't care about Palestine.
That's sad. Jerry, can I get a...
It's amazing. Like, the psychological operations that have been run against the American people. Why you want about Palestine? I get people in my comments all the time. DW, you don't support Palestine? No, I don't. I'm American. And I'm a Christian. If I'm going to support anybody, I'm going to support the Jewish state, Israel. Point blank, period. That's what my Bible tells me. Oh, well, the God ain't this guy. Well, whatever. I don't want my tax money going over there. Now, I would like to see those people. Honestly, I would like to see those people stop getting killed. The children stop being bombed. That don't mean I'm finna go run out in the streets and wave flags for them. Hell no. No, I'm an American citizen, and I don't appreciate you walking up and down the streets of America waving a flag for another nation, whether it be Mexico, whether it be Palestine. I don't care. I don't care for you. I don't particularly care for you walking up and down the street with the flag of Israel in the United States. This is the United States of America. If I went to Palestine and started marching down the street with the flag, American flag, they'd probably chop my head off or shoot me up and do whatever they're going to do, and I would understand it. It's an act of war. But we so weak over here, we just let people play games with us, man. They play games with us like we chumps. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't cool. It ain't cool at all. Fort Knox, I want to touch on this. I'm waiting on the audit of Fort Knox. This is going to be the biggest tell-all thing for the United States of America. I personally believe that they have stolen all our gold, that we don't have any gold. That's what I personally believe. We don't have anything. They need to audit this. Point blank, period.
Naturally, gold prices immediately began to soar. 9 years later, gold sold for $880 per ounce, 25 times what the gold in Fort Knox was sold for. One would think that eventually someone in the government would get wind of what was happening and blow the whistle. The largest fortune in the history of the world stolen. Shades of the old James Bond film, Goldfinger. Well, as a matter of fact, Ian Fleming, the author of the James Bond series, was head of the British counterintelligence service, MI5.
Some believe in the intelligence community that he wrote much of his fiction as a warning, as many authors of fiction do.
If the removal of all the good delivery gold from Fort Knox can be viewed as a deliberate raid on the U.S. Treasury, then such an operation might well have been years in the making, namely 40 years. Certainly enough time for Fleming to get wind of it and try to prevent it.
So just how did the story of the Fort Knox gold robbery get out?
It all started with an article in a New York periodical in 1974. The article charged that the Rockefeller family was manipulating the Federal Reserve to sell off Fort Knox gold at bargain basement prices to anonymous European speculators. 3 days later, the anonymous source of the story, Louise Auchincloss Boyer, mysteriously fell to her death from the window of her 10th floor apartment in New York. How would Mrs. Boyer have known of the Rockefeller connection to the Fort Knox gold heist? She was the longtime secretary of Nelson Rockefeller.
For the next 14 years, this man, Ed Durrell, a wealthy Ohio industrialist, devoted himself to a quest for the truth concerning the Fort Knox gold. He wrote thousands of letters to over 1,000 government and banking officials, trying to find out how much gold was really left and where the rest of it had gone.
Edith Roosevelt, the granddaughter of President Teddy Roosevelt, questioned the actions of the government in a March 1975 edition of the New Hampshire Sunday News.
Allegations of missing gold from our Fort Knox vaults are being widely discussed in European financial circles. But what is puzzling is that the administration is not hastening to demonstrate conclusively that there is no cause for concern over our gold treasure, if indeed it is in a position to do so.
Unfortunately, Ed Durrell never did accomplish his primary goal, a full audit of the gold reserves in Fort Knox. It's incredible that the world's greatest treasure has had little accounting or auditing. This gold belonged to the American people, not the Federal Reserve and their foreign owners. One thing is certain, the government could...
Yeah, Doge need to go there. Doge needs to go there, ladies and gentlemen.
Blow all of this speculation away in a few days with a well-publicized audit under the searing lights of media cameras. It has chosen not to do so. One must conclude that they are afraid of the truth such an audit would reveal. What is the government so afraid of? Here's the answer. When President Ronald Reagan took office in 1981, his conservative friends urged him to study the feasibility of returning to a gold standard as the only way to curb government spending. It sounded like a reasonable alternative, so President Reagan appointed a group of men called the Gold Commission to study the situation and report back to Congress. What Reagan's Gold Commission reported back to Congress in 1982 was the following shocking revelation concerning gold. The U.S. Treasury owned no gold at all. All the gold that was left in Fort Knox was now owned by the Federal Reserve, a group of private bankers, as collateral against the national debt. The truth of the matter is that never before has so much money been stolen from the hands of the general public and put into the hands of a small group of private investors.
Yep, they're going to get nationalized. Donald, you're going to have to nationalize the Federal Reserve. Yep. He's going to have to nationalize the Federal Reserve. He's going to have to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if they already didn't do the audit. Because right here it's saying, breaking, Senator Rand Paul is calling for an audit to Fort Knox to ensure the gold is still there. They know that gold ain't there. If that man right there can do a report and pull all this from public information, then you know ain't no damn gold there. So Here's what's about to happen. They about to push through, and he gonna need to nationalize the Federal Reserve. Yeah, he nationalized the Federal Reserve, and it's a wrap. Let's see what Uncle Alex talking about.
It is Sunday, February 16th, 2025. I'm already up here at the office gearing up for tonight's show. It's going to be absolutely massive with key news and analysis, 4 to 8 p.m. Central Time. But I wanted to just do a quick update on Doge and the fact that Elon is now starting to make noises about auditing the U.S. gold reserves that have not been at Fort Knox, that have not been audited since the early 1970s, 1974 to be precise. We've also been talking for months, really the first to be doing it with Dr. Kirk Elliott, a great economist, that there are record levels of gold being shipped back into New York and into the U.S. government vaults there as well. It takes months and months now to even be able to get your gold out of the National Central Bank there in England, in London. And so there are short supplies of gold all over the world taking place. Because they've always been shorting it and naked shorting it and manipulating it. You know, the Goldman Sachs, the JP Morgans, the whole BlackRock combine, and manipulating the price of it the whole time. Even when they didn't have big holdings of it, they would just do it on paper. It's a giant scam, and Elon's also talked about that. So a lot of stuff is coming to a head. All these giant debts are growing and growing, and most of these big companies and hedge funds really don't have much of the assets they claim they do. It's all leveraged. And so the fact that you see what's happening with gold, but also with silver, because it's such an industrial metal, we've never seen this level of a lack of silver. All of this is forming a perfect storm. And you're going to see some very, very big moves in the near future. But I guarantee you, Doge is going to go investigate the gold, and it's also going to investigate the private Federal Reserve that's been heavily involved in that, that's been saying it's above the law and Trump can't tell them what to do. Well, Congress can revoke their charter. And so first you have to go in and show these agencies and groups and private corporate groups masquerading as government have engaged in a bunch of fraud, then they're politically destroyed, then you can take them over. This is a real revolution. God bless you all. Follow me on X at Real Alex Jones.
Yeah. Alex, that's what I just said. And I ain't know you said that, Alex. I ain't know you said that. But that's Grand Poobah right there. That's what I was saying. Got to order them and then nationalize them. Take them over. I ain't mean to leave your face like that.
I'm here at 4 p.m.
Let's leave your face like that. You look better like that. That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call winning. And the problem that we have right now is the most American people don't know what winning looks like. I don't even know what winning looks like on this level. Only thing I can do is grab the data points and run them through my mind because God made my mind that way. Whoo, boy, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. We finna get into the Ukrainian war within the next 2 weeks. Then we finna get an audit of the damn Federal Reserve and Fort Knox and the destruction of the creature from Jekyll Island. Do you know what that means? Do you know what it means for your wallet? Yeah, do you know what it means? It means, boy, happy days is here again. Happy days is here again. Now, I want to touch on a couple of things. The spy balloon just came back up into the news. And, you know, when we start talking about technology, I like to hit DARPA, and then I like to go to DARPA and go into the news and go into the technology news, because all the technology, guys, that everybody got came from DARPA. I'm sorry. China got it, DARPA gave it to them. Elon Musk got it, DARPA gave it to him. What's the guy that was the CEO up? Tim Cook, Apple. DARPA gave it to him. None of these people that damn smart. Mark Zuckerberg, DARPA. There ain't nobody around here that damn smart, except for them damn DARPA brain bugs that keep leaking technology out and giving it to certain people, and then those people bring it to the market, and then they introduce it to you and me. So when we start talking about technological changes, we go back to the source, which is DARPA, and let's take a look. But we headed towards the spy balloon. Trust me, we're going towards the spy balloon. It's not going to be long, ladies and gentlemen. This video is not going to be long at all. But the news stories come out again about the high altitude balloons and what was inside the high altitude balloons. We're going to get to that. But, you know, anytime we dealing with technology, I tell you to go to DARPA first. And so I go to DARPA to try and find stuff about the high altitude balloons. And what I find is terrifying. And I'm going to show you what this woman actually has on the table. But in order to do this, I need to make her a little bit bigger. so you can see. The first thing I want you to see, that the DARPA logo is in the background and she's showing you a drone. The next thing I want you to see next to her is a prosthetic leg. And let me show you a couple more things. Now, they got some music playing in this, and that's where the problem comes in at. But she's bragging about what DARPA has done. So I'm just going to rewind a little bit so you can see it. And there's something very strange. Do you see that right there to her left? Do you see what's on that table? That is the Echo. That is all these damn devices that you done put in your house. And the sign behind it says DARPA. I just want you to consider for a moment, ladies and gentlemen, just consider that just maybe you got the biggest piece of spy technology in your house that you ever seen in your whole entire life. Now, she kind of cute. You know what I'm saying? You can spy on me, girl. But the point I'm making is that right there is a problem. Now, they did this 6 years ago. And the problem when you start digging through DARPA, I was literally looking for, see how the thing says DARPA, high altitude technology. The problem is when you dig down the DARPA rabbit hole, you always get distracted because they got something else. This is 6 years ago. And you just get distracted. And she goes into talk.
DARPA funded the PAL program, Personalized Assistant That Learns. The goal was to bring more flexibility and efficiency to military decision making. At the labs of SRI, PAL brought together the best minds in cognitive software and machine learning.
Freaking AI.
The core technology spun into the private sector to a startup named Siri.
So Siri came from DARPA. The internet came from DARPA. Somebody may say, well, DW, why are you saying this? Because when we click this next button, we go to this damn spy balloon. I want you to understand where they get the technology from. They get it from DARPA. And that's the people that ain't came up in no conversation about budget cuts and budget reviews. Ain't nothing came up about these people, and they are terrifying. They spooky. They are the spooks who sit by the door. The spooks are not technology. So this brick right here is a spook. My Lord.
And when Apple saw what Siri could do, the rest is history.
Think about this. Think about it. So DARPA gave technology to Apple. And then this whole time we was thinking about the guy who ran Apple like he was some kind of damn genius. There needs to be a reevaluation of a lot of these people, man. I'm sorry. Needs to be a reevaluation. Even my man Elon. Because what my mind is thinking, even is what's going on with Elon, even though it's being used the right way, Elon has been given access to probably ASI, artificial super intelligence. Not AGI, artificial general intelligence, ASI, artificial super intelligence. And because he's been given access to artificial super intelligence, he can go in and go through any system and pull any data he wants. But he gets to look like, oh, I'm the smart one. Oh, I'm the smart one. I'm the smart one. And we have to come to that conclusion about all these people because DARPA give everything. DARPA, how come you don't want to give me something, DARPA? Huh? Give me something. I know y'all translate everything. Give me something, DARPA. You understand what I'm saying? Because y'all keep giving all this damn technology away to people and making everybody believe they're geniuses. They are not geniuses. They just know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. It's not what you know. It's clearly who you know.
When DARPA tackles tough national security problems, the solutions sometimes benefit everybody, like the internet. We don't give it much thought. We grab our laptop, hop online, and
we've discovered this, and we talked about this if you've been on this channel.
Order groceries, stream the latest super.
This probably gonna get copywritten. This is ridiculous. What is this? What are you talking about?
He could get a unit down to the size of this. Soon it was a reality. A miniature GPS receiver, nicknamed Virginia Slims.
And let me tell you something. What her face at? Show me your face, girl. Some of your face. See that face right there? That look like it's unassuming, like it won't do you nothing, huh? Man, that lady probably put a bullet in your head. Yeah, probably put a bullet in your head. Like I was saying, she one of them ladies that, you know, she seems like the type that'll put a bullet in your head, man. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Yeah, DARPA.
Some pretty helpful tools. Take GPS.
That's enough of that. Let's get on to what we was talking about. We wanted to talk about Chinese spy balloon. Turns out that they done figure out what was in the balloon. And I don't know if you know, but I want to know what was in the spy balloon. What in Sam hell was in that balloon? Remember, Joe Biden said there wasn't no balloons. We watched the balloons. And
I do want to head to some of the other big stories that we are following, and you might remember this video right here on your screen. 2 years after a mysterious Chinese spy balloon was shot down off the coast of South Carolina, we are learning new details about what was apparently inside. The balloon was shot down by the U.S. military over the Atlantic Ocean back on February 4th of 2023 after flying over Alaska, across the U.S., and then over to the East Coast.
No, that's not accurate. They flew over every military installation and every military base in America. And then they shot it down after they let it transverse the whole entire United States.
A report published by Newsweek now states the balloon contained technology from at least 5 American companies. The report states inside the balloon were a satellite communication module, sensors, and other sophisticated surveillance equipment, some of which was held in a foam cooler. Wait,
so you trying to tell me this no Chinese balloon? You trying to tell me the balloon wasn't Chinese? You trying to tell me this was a psychological operation?
FBI has not responded to any questions about the report. Now, back when the balloon was first spotted, the Chinese government claimed it was a weather balloon that blew off course, but U.S. intelligence agencies found it was actually being used for spying. U.S. intelligence officials have said that the information captured by the balloon was not successfully relayed to China.
Hold on. That don't make no damn sense. That don't make no sense, man. So you're trying to tell me China sent the balloon into the air in a styrofoam cooler, and then we allowed it to fly across the whole United States of America, and then we shot it down once it got over the Atlantic, and then it didn't send no information to China, but all the parts of the balloon was made with all the devices was American-made devices. That don't sound like it was China. And it don't have to be relayed directly to China. It could be relayed through America to China. This don't make no sense.
I do want to discuss really all of this here and the latest developments. So let's bring in a guest again to discuss all of it.
Yeah, you got to bring that guest.
We do have Patrick Cronin,
bring that guest. Come on in here, guest.
Asia Pacific Security Chair over at the Hudson Institute. Thank you so much for taking.
What the hell is the Hudson Institute? See, we ain't playing none of them games with you. What is the Hudson Institute? No, we can't just be coming over here. That said something about China's podcast. China Insider podcast from the Hudson Institute China Center, hosted by Miles Yu, who provides weekly news that mainstream American outlets often miss. Nikki Haley? Hold on. Is this on the screen? It ain't on the screen where you can see it. Hold on. What the hell is the Hudson Institute? All right, let me see what the hell this is about us. All right, let me see. Hudson Institute is a research organization promoting American leadership for a secure, free, prosperous future. Policy work. They do policy work. They're 501c3. Okay, so this is a non-governmental organization. Who is on the board of this damn thing? Sarah Stern, Russell Pennoyer, Thomas Barry. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, them people look like they own some other stuff. Every last one of them. All right, let's get back to it now. Yeah, let's get back to it. I'm sorry. I need to know. We just don't see. We Stankonia. People don't just say, "Oh, he from this," and we don't. What the hell is this? What the hell is the Hudson Institute? We don't play them games. We want to know what it is. You know what I'm saying? We ain't playing that. Camera, get on me. That is not on me. Get on me. That is not on me again. Get on me. There we go. Now we on me. Get on me like this, like that. There we go. Yeah, all right. We straight now. Now. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. All right, back to what we were saying. What in the hell is the Hudson Institute? We done figured out what it is. Now let's see what they say.
Taking the time to join us here and help discuss this all really just a little bit further as we work.
Why you don't have Moo You joining you?
To piece it all together.
You're welcome.
Of course. And first off, I do want to ask you, overall, what do you make of the
I don't trust people who got all them books in the background like that. I don't trust nobody that got 10,000 books behind them. You know you ain't read all them damn books. You's a liar. You ain't read all them damn books. You ain't read them. You ain't read all them books.
Contents here that were reported to be inside that balloon 2 years later.
Well, my first reaction is how little we still know publicly about the details. We do know a few specifics that the Newsweek article has now unearthed, but that's mostly because they've been talking with some of the authors or people with access to a 75-page exhaustive analysis of the contents of that espionage balloon that was shot down 2 years ago. And so, as you've mentioned, we found out that this U.S. technology, cheap technology in many cases, the Iridium signals burst module that is like a sat phone, a cheap sat phone, sitting in a foam cooler, which is very cheap technology indeed. Think of keeping your iPhone dry. But this is technology when used for malign purposes and put together in an integrated system, and then maybe used as one facet of a multi-layered sort of global surveillance system. The Chinese are able to pick up a range of intelligence. So they were able to obviously have images, think close-up imagery, better than satellite imagery. They're able to steal and intercept signals. They're able to detect their own electronic emissions, including over military bases and installations. And the fact that they claim it was a weather balloon, that sounds like just a typical cover story that an intelligence agency like the Ministry of State Security or the People's Liberation Army would use just to deny that they are spying on the United States.
I don't believe it was China. Either way it go, let's just say it was China. And they sent it from over the North Pole. They came over Alaska and they put it in a jet stream and they steered it in whatever the hell he was doing. Joe Biden let him do it. Yeah, Joe Biden let him do it. I don't believe it was China. It don't make no sense.
The fact that it blew over the United States, the continental United States, whether that was an accident or not, in terms of the weather driving it off course, well, the reports were that it was headed for Hawaii. And we've seen these balloons, similar balloons over Guam. We've seen them over allies and friends countries, like South Korea, over Japan, over Taiwan. So this is a systematic program that the PLA has been trying to exploit, develop, and especially over the past.
So you're trying to tell me the best the Chinese government can do is put it in a styrofoam cooler? See, that don't add up, man. You trying to tell me same Chinese government that got more aircraft carriers than we have right now, the best thing they can do is put a balloon in the air with a damn styrofoam cooler? And I'm supposed to believe that? That don't add up. 1 + 1 don't equal 2. The math is not mathing, man. I'm sorry.
This decade, and yet here we are 2 years later after this very dramatic shoot down of the balloon, and we still are eager to find out much more than we know now.
Do we know overall if these balloons do pose any sort of threat to the United States? Do we really have that answer just yet?
Well, we have contradictory statements coming out of the government, right? So the last administration claimed that whatever data collection this balloon was able to undertake was not transmitted back to China. That was what was called a high certainty intelligence finding under the Biden administration. But I'm not sure that should be the last word about whether they were successful with this. And it's certainly not the last word about this balloon surveillance program. The fact that we have heard so little about the details of this, including even now with this excellent Newsweek report, but still one that's sketchy, and it's based on a verbal discussion of a report, not the actual 75-page detailed report, we're still left wondering how much of an espionage threat this really was. This was, just because it's using cheap technology, though, doesn't mean it wasn't a sophisticated espionage attempt, in the sense that we live in a world of ubiquitous, cheap digital technology. And if you can use that and string that together for malign purposes and get access, as the Chinese have been doing, through this near space access, 20 kilometers above countries of the United States, you're in a sweet spot to kind of get wide view technology coverage and to go where places where United States government didn't think you'd be going, and not to mention other governments who don't have the same early warning systems, the same ability to.
But hold on, man. But people saw the damn balloon. See, this don't make no. I'm sorry, Mr. Patrick. I'm sorry, Mr. Patrick. I don't mean to be disrespectful. People saw the damn balloon in the sky. What do you mean go to spaces that people can't see, that it can't be detected? I can look in the sky and see the damn balloon. What are you talking about, Mr. Patrick? People literally took their cell phones and recorded the damn balloon. I don't understand. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Mr. Cronin. I just don't understand what Mr. Cronin is saying to me right now. That don't make sense, Mr. Cronin.
Sort of counter surveillance. So this was a wide-eyed moment for the United States intelligence community and military community to realize this is a bigger, even if it's a cheap challenge. We don't want to use F-22s to be shooting down every little cheap spy balloon.
Mr. Cronin, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm done with this. Mr. Cronin, I'm gonna tell you what I think it was. I think somebody needed an increase in their budget funding, and they needed some kind of psychological operation that would spark an increase in funding. And so they put a balloon up in the sky with a cooler and flew it up in the air and said, yeah, we can make this into a psychological operation to where we can say our enemies, China, is doing this to us and we need more funding for it. That's the only thing I could see. That's the only thing that would make sense to me. I'm sorry. Don't make no sense that the Chinese government is flying little bitty balloons and coolers. That just don't make no sense. And then for you to try and tell me they couldn't get the signals intelligence, well, that's the right height to get signals intelligence, which is, there's human intelligence where you talk to that guy, let me find out, boom, 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 then there's signals intelligence. It's the right height to get signals intelligence. That makes sense, but you did it with a cooler and an iPhone or a sat phone? It just don't add up, man. It just don't add up.
But the spy balloons, just because they're cheap, relatively cheap, doesn't make them less of a threat.
And when you look on the left-hand
side, it seemed to me like it's a cheap psyop, is what it seems like it is to me. And then when you remember how it was almost like the drones was a replay of the spy balloons, like from a psychological operation perspective. But then the news came out about the drones, that the drones belong to America. What make me think, or they were private drones, is what they said. What make me think, and what make you think, that ain't the same damn thing that happened with this spy balloon? I'm sorry, I don't trust them. If hopefully tomorrow in the White House briefing room, somebody's going to say, excuse me, Caroline, don't go into the light, Caroline. And they're going to say, hey, news came out over the weekend about this spy balloon and the data that was supposedly not transmitted, according to the Biden administration, from the quote unquote Chinese spy balloon. Does the White House have a update on what is going on with the spy balloon? Because the American people believe absolutely nothing that has come out of the mouths of the Biden administration. And she may say, well, Mr. Williams, we don't have anything. Thank you. Can you see if you can get us some information, please? Have a great day. That would be what I would ask the question. How I would ask the question.
Side of your screen, you can.
And I would be real animated just like that. I would be rocking in my chair and spinning and talking, because this don't make no sense. No, this don't make no sense at all. Don't make no damn sense. I don't even want to listen to what else Mr. Cronin got to say, honestly, but I'm going to go ahead and listen to Patrick. Pat, keep going.
You can see that video, and it's hard to believe it was back in February of 2023. We're talking 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Do other countries use these kind of spy balloons? Do we have that answer?
Well, we know balloons have been used for a couple hundred years.
And I don't even like how this is live now. What was this? Live now from Fox? You ain't even asking the right questions, Josh. Of course, other people use the damn balloons, Josh. Who did he give you the questions to ask him before we started? Yeah, and I said axe. A-X-E. People got a problem. O-D-W. I'm from New Orleans. We say axe. We say Earl. It is what it is. Deal with it. Can you ask this man a real question? Please. It's disgusting.
For military battlefields and for spying, We certainly know that the United States, Russia, Iran, North Korea have all used balloons for a variety of reasons to collect data, or for if communications were to fail, for emergencies. There are a lot of different possible uses, but there's no doubt that it's not just China using them. And yet, if any individual just does a Google Scholar kind of search of academic articles written by Chinese scholars in the last 2 or 3 years on stratospheric aerostats, for instance, you'd be amazed at how many Chinese scientists seem to be working on these issues. And we know that this is a Chinese program that really, in the first part of this century, started to develop. They started to write a lot of papers in the mid-2000s, and by 2015, they were clearly starting to experiment with putting these systems up in the air, and they've been refining that program ever since.
Again, you touched on this here, but what can the U.S. kind of learn from all of this? I'm sure they are still studying the content.
I'll tell you what you can learn. You can learn that Joe Biden let the damn balloon fly across the whole United States of America. If the balloon was a damn threat, you should have shot the balloon down the minute you synced it. Remember, Donald Trump had to come out and say, shoot the balloon down. Come on, man. Come on, man. Well, here's what we learned, Josh. For real. Josh, shoot it down. If it's supposed to be such a threat, it should have been shot down immediately. And if it would have been lower, I'm pretty sure American citizens would have shot it down them damn selves. I can't do it. Can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just people playing games everywhere. Everybody want to play games, man. Can't do it. I can't do it. Bye. I love you. Bye.